Dweatherly Gon Kill IT.
Hey, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Dweatherly Beatz coming live from the Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina. What's going on, folks? I know a lot of y'all have been asking, as far as my home studio setup goes, what kind of hardware and equipment and software I use. So I want to put together a quick little video. We're gonna go through the speakers, headphones, MIDI interface, software, all that kind of stuff. So if you could, for your boy, down below, make sure you hit that like button. Comment any questions you have, any suggestions you may have to help me out. Put all that down below. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Man, I'm just super excited to get into this video, man. I'm about to hit a quick little mini rock on them, you know what I'm saying? So, man, I ain't gonna keep y'all waiting any longer, man. Let's jump straight into this video. Let's go. All right, so let's start this up with what is powering everything that's going on in the studio. So I have an HP desktop computer with the AMD Ryzen 3 3200G processor with 8 GB of RAM and 256 GB of hard drive space. It has 4 USB slots on the front with an SD card slot as well, with 4 USB ports on the back too. But of course, when you have so many different pieces of equipment that need to be plugged in, you just need more ports. So I got the Atola USB 3.0 expander hub to be able to plug in more equipment that needs the USB 3.0 speeds. You're able to turn on and off each port that you're not using on the hub. But as you see, I'm using every single port that's on there. Then for the primary screen, we have the Asus MG248QR 24-inch Full HD monitor screen. This is actually a gaming screen that can go up to 144Hz refresh rate, as I also use the screen for playing video games on my Xbox Series X. The 120 frames per second looks amazing on first-person shooter games like Call of Duty. Above, we have the Vizio 32-inch TV for the secondary display. Most of the time I have the mixing console up on this screen, or if I want to sit back and take a break and watch some Netflix, I can switch it over to that as well. I have the HDMI switcher to control which input I want on the main screen. If you saw my setup before this one, I had a dual monitor setup, so holding this screen I have a dual monitor mount even though I only have one monitor on it right now. For the mouse and keyboard, I just got a wireless set to eliminate the extra wires, but I also have my main Logitech mouse that I use here and on the go. It's super comfortable and has extra buttons and scrolling wheels for easy scrolling through my software. Then we have what may be the most important part of any studio, and that's the hard drive. I have a Seagate external hard drive that I've had now for 10 plus years and now use it for backing up my files from my main hard drive. I believe it has about 500 gigabytes on it. But my primary hard drive is the Samsung T7 solid state drive with 1 terabyte of memory on it. This hard drive is lightning fast, so it's easy to move and copy files to it. And I probably will get another one in the near future as well. The DAW I use, or the digital audio workstation I use, is Presonus Studio One 5 Professional. I started and always used Propeller Head Reason, now simply called Reason Studios, but changed to Studio One this year and I don't regret it at all. I still use Reason as a VST plugin for instruments, but I'm doing all my production straight through Studio One now. You have to have an audio interface to be able to plug your microphones, studio monitors, and MIDI controllers to your computer. So next up we have the M-Audio Air 192. I have the version with 6 inputs, so you can plug in 2 instruments such as guitars, 2 microphone lines, and 2 MIDI ports as well. You have 2 knobs to control the microphone input volumes, a knob for USB or direct control, a headphone volume control, and the big knob in the middle is for controlling the volume to the studio monitors or the studio speakers. I also have a small M-Audio MIDI Sport interface that I don't really use anymore, but can be used if we needed more MIDI ports to connect more instruments to the computer. Now to the real fun stuff. The Presonus Faderport 8 is amazing. The Faderport and Studio One both are from the company Presonus, so they integrate natively and work together perfect. I use it during mixing, recording, even use it to turn on and off the loop or stop and play the music. When mixing songs, you really just want to use your ears, and I find myself closing my eyes often. So to be able to just touch and feel something physical instead of looking at the screen for your audio levels works very well for me. and anything you do on a Faderport happens in Studio One and vice versa as well. So if you find yourself lifting up a fader on the actual Faderport, you'll look up on the screen and it's moving as well. So that's pretty nice. Next, we have my longtime friend, the M-Audio Axiom 49 USB MIDI controller. A MIDI controller only controls whatever software is connected to it. So this isn't a keyboard, it doesn't produce sound on its own, only controls the sounds you're playing in your DAW. I have had this controller for 10 years now and it's just as good as it was when I first got it. It has 49 keys, 9 faders, 8 rotary knobs, and 8 pressure sensitive beat pads. Another MIDI controller I have is the Presonus Atom production pad. This is my baby right here. I do all of my drums through the Atom. With it also being Presonus, I can control everything in Studio One with it as well. Next, we have one of the stars of the show, and that's the KRK RP5 G4 studio monitor speakers. I do 90% of my mixing out loud through the monitor, so it's important to have a really good set of studio monitors so you can hear all the frequencies coming through. These are a flat EQ type of speaker, so what you hear is what you get. A lot of consumer speakers are made to make the music sound better, boosting low end and making the high end real bright, but these are going to allow you to hear exactly what's going on in your mix. These also have a screen on the back to set your EQ. I have a pair of Edifier Bluetooth speakers below the KRKs. I use these to hear the mix on a different source and also just for Bluetooth purposes. My electric drum set is also wired to these speakers as well, so if I don't want to turn on my computer and everything, I can just jam out directly on my drum set. The electric drum set I have is the Carlsbro CSD 200. Before I was music producing, I was just a musician who grew up in church and played the drums. So the drums are my first instrument I played in church and in band at school. So I always have to have my drums nearby. Now, if you have good studio monitors, you have to have good studio headphones as well. My main headphones are the Beyerdynamic DT770 Pros. I have the 250 ohm version. That just tells you how much power you need to actually power those headphones. These are also flat EQ, so I can hear the mix the way that it actually is. I also have the Sennheiser HD280 Pro headphones that I've had for about 10 years as well. These are also good choice for mixing, but I would use these more for tracking vocals. And speaking of tracking vocals, let's jump into the microphones. With being a producer and beat maker, I don't use my microphone super often, but a lot of people don't know this, but a lot of the beats I have made, I have recorded my own voice for samples in my beat. So the next time you hear some vocals in my beat, listen super closely and see if you can tell if it's me or not. My main microphone is the Audio-Technica AT2035. This is the mic that I keep on my desk and the mic I would use to record vocals for artists. It's also the mic that I'm using to record this voiceover as well. It is a large diaphragmed condenser microphone that's great at minimizing background noise, but records vocals great. My secondary mic is the Audio-Technica 2020 medium diaphragm condenser microphone. If you're looking for a good entry-level mic that still gives you good results, I would highly recommend starting with this microphone. I also have USB microphones that I tend not to use, but have them ready to pull out if they're ever needed. I'm sure you've noticed the different color lighting in the room. All of the LED lights you see are from Monster. I have the light strips, I have the light bulbs, and you're able to control them straight from a remote that I usually keep on my desk, and then the other one I keep on the side over there. As a music producer, you may do most of your producing in your home setup, but what if an artist wants you to come to the studio and make beats on the spot? So I also have a mobile setup as well. The laptop I use is the Samsung Galaxy Book Pro 15-inch model. I upgraded it to the Intel Core i7 chip with 16 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of hard drive. This laptop is a beast, able to handle heavy music production and video editing with ease. The interface I use on the go is old faithful Focusrite Scarlett Solo. You can't just plug in headphones to your laptop and be good. You need an interface or you're probably going to have some latency or lagging of sound. It's great because it's small and powerful. The MIDI controller I use while mobile is the Akai MPK Mini. This is the perfect size to throw in your backpack and be able to just go. It's super lightweight and it has about 25 keys and 8 beat pads on it as well. My laptop only had like 3 USB ports on it, so I had to use a Type-C adapter hub for that as well. It actually extends it out to 7 inputs on it, so I never have to worry about not having enough ports when I'm out and about and in studios. Woo, them beats is hard, man. Hey, if y'all need some beats, man, hit your boy up. But man, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like I said earlier, man, any comments, any suggestions, any shout outs, man, put it down in the comments below, man. Let me know, send me a message. Either way, man, I'm down with it. Man, like I said, if you need any beats, man, I'm gonna have my website for my BeatStars and SoundCloud down below. If you need a hit for your next single or your next album, man, hit me up. Man, let's secure this bag in 2022, man. And I'm gonna make sure I put all my social media links down below. So come follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, of course on YouTube, man. And I hope we have a great year in 2022, man. I appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart checking out the video. Hey man, it's only going up from here. I'm excited to see what 2022 brings. Keep your mans in your prayers, man. And I'm out. Deuces. How do you say it? Man, make sure you check out the cat. Dang, I can't talk. Jeez. Millie rocking on that beat like, hey. When I hit through the club, hey.